yakking, which we're pretty good at doing. And so today we have Miss Melody Meyer, who's been a friend of mine for, well, how long has it been now? 10 years or so? Pretty
Um,
close.
yeah, maybe longer.
Really? Ooh.
Well, maybe we weren't friends that whole time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. But her and her husband, Dave Wheaton, they own and operate a real successful and kind of a unique school out in Santa Barbara, California. I've had the opportunity to go out there and teach some seminars, and their school is incredibly unique from the standpoint of the culture that they have. I mean, if you see this school, it's on a residential street. It's kind of a Quonset hut type thing. There's almost no parking. They don't run air conditioning in the place, and it's just packed with people. I mean, almost 700 students at one point. And then you do these workouts like on Christmas morning and Thanksgiving morning or something. What's your biggest group you've had in there for one of those?
We've had like 90 people in here.
90 people in a fitness kickboxing class, and then they do Hapkido classes, and it's a really unique place. If you ever get a chance to get out there, make sure you stop in, because I thoroughly enjoy it. And it's a school that has hit seven figures. I think Santa Barbara is about 90,000 people. Is that right? Something like that. And I think you told me you had 15 competitors or whatever it was in that town. And
oh, it's way more than that now. But
is that right? Oh man.
We opened. That's what it was. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So in the midst of all the competition and no parking, they ran an extremely successful school. So when in talking with Master Mel, as she's known, she was mentioning some things that she's doing online to generate revenue. Kind of got pushed into it through the coronavirus deal. So I asked her if she would come on, and she said she had a half a dozen systems and programs that she's using presently. So we're going to go through those, and then we'll ask some questions if we have some questions about that. So Master Mel, I'm going to turn it over to you, and I'm just going to listen.
Cool. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, let me make sure that that we've got the right view here. All right. Hi. Okay, so I just want to go over today some of the things that we're doing. It's just to be able to share, and maybe it'll inspire some of the other martial arts school owners to do some of these things. Now, just to give you a little context, what happened here, of course, with the coronavirus and everything being shut down, we were shut down by the governor, and but there was no way that we could shut down our income. So we decided that we wouldn't, and we decided to just take everything online. So we did that, and I know many of you have done that as well, and good for you. Every other gym in the area, they all froze everyone's tuition and just said, okay, you can't come in, so we're just gonna, we don't expect you to pay. And but we did not do that. We actually said to everyone, we're moving online. We're going to take care of you there. If you want to put your membership on hold or you want to cancel, it's totally fine. We really, really understand. For those of you who want to participate, then let's do it. For those of you who can't afford it because you're not working and you want to participate, then let's, scholarship you in. That's no problem. We're just super, super flexible. And I really think because of that, we had most people, we went down probably 30%. That's it. Said, let's hang in there with you. Let's do this. And started this whole thing online. And it was awesome. I mean, we, first few were pretty rough. And I got tired of Zoom immediately.
Right. I've heard the same thing from others. Yeah.
Right. And the quality just not there for recording. So here's what it came down to, like the live is fine, but to record and for people to be able to watch it back, we need to up level the the quality of the actual video. So we started investigating and doing what we needed to do, be able to do that. Now, because of my background in video and television production, I already had the right people that I could tap into to make that happen. So we were able to do it very, very quickly. Within a week or so, we had a full like television studio set up at the dojo. So, yeah. So we were able to start recording and start building really a whole library full of classes. Now we have a very strong fitness kickboxing program. We're able to, get a lot of great classes there, and we're still recording them. In fact, we did one this morning. And also our martial arts classes. So the Zoom thing is great when you want to see your students and when you want to go back and forth. But if you also want to, double down on this whole idea of working in video and having some real good video assets, then you need to up the quality of what it is that you're recording, because those Zoom recordings are just terrible and they're hard to watch in replay. Don't you find, Randy?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I've heard it from the instructors that are there as well as the people watching them.
Yeah, it's not someone's, and it is very important to watch in a replay. So, so the things that we're going to be talking about today are things that we're doing, and the things that I just want to open up the possibilities to you. This whole online thing is not going away. Right. So
yeah, I agree.
Open, right? If you've reopened your business, that's awesome. Good for you. I know, I don't know the rest of the country, but here in California, we've got a lot of regulations about spacing and all that kind of thing. So we're actually trying to be leaders with that. We can grumble all we want to behind the scenes. But we're enthusiastically embracing these guidelines. We've gridded out our floor, making sure everybody's got their own bag and their own space and their own equipment and everything. So we are really doing everything we can as we reopen as well. So if you're reopening, that's great. And let's say you went online for, during the lockdown, and now you're back in the dojo and you're going, oh, phew, let's get rid of that. I am going to encourage you to actually think about how you can do more online. There is actually a lot of money left on the table if you ignore that part or that opportunity. All right. So that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Okay.
So the number one thing, and the simplest thing that you can do to keep this online portion of your school going and make money doing it is with private lessons. Okay, private lessons is probably the number one and the easiest. You don't need anything else than what you've already been doing. You just get a Zoom like this, this platform, and you literally just conduct private lessons. Now, why does that add extra revenue? Well, because you can have instructors doing private lessons even while you have, classes going on, because they don't have to be in the dojo to do it. You can make it for any time. It's very, very flexible, and it's very personal. So if you've never done a private lesson online yet, it does take a little bit of getting used to, but it's actually pretty simple, and all of our instructors have been loving it. Then and then we pay our instructors a little bit better to do those private lessons, so they're encouraging the students to do more private lessons.
Right.
So it's a really nice and easy thing for all of the martial arts school owners to be implementing, is online private lessons, and you can still actually charge a premium for that. I know some school owners that have been giving that away for free. We did 15-minute lessons, private lessons, while we were in quarantine, so that people could stay up and we could, make sure that their techniques were good and that kind of thing. So we were doing free ones. Now we're reducing those down to 10 minutes as kind of little quick check-ins for some of our students. But we are selling, because of the online piece, we don't have to be really long lessons. You can actually schedule 10, 15, 25 minute private lessons and still get a lot of things done in that time. Okay,
Right.
that's
Right.
number. Next, that I would like to suggest a way for you to make extra income is to do seminars online. Okay, so you would use a platform, you could use Zoom like we're using it right now, which is as a Zoom room and everybody's in there. That's one way of doing it. So you can have an entire class where you're doing a seminar, but you can also do it as just a presenter. And that's more of a webinar type of service that actually Zoom has as well, where you don't see everybody, they're not participating in as a group. You're really just teaching, which is an awesome way to do it as well, just depending on how much interaction you want. But what I love about seminars is you don't have to do them all yourself. Okay, you can literally, you know, Randy, you've been to our school. You have come and done some seminars here, you know, teaching fighting, or, you know, you highlight some particular thing that you would like to teach, and you actually do a seminar, and you can charge for these. You can charge through Zoom. Actually has they join with Eventbrite too, so you can actually take money for people to register through Zoom. Easy. You can also do that through Facebook. There's lots of different ways that you can build a seminar and be able to do it. And like I say, you don't have to do it yourself.
Right.
With that being said, you can also do like interviews like this. It doesn't have to just be, you know, techniques and movement and all of that. You could actually be speaking about different things. You could do a series of, you know, on one theme, do a series of things. So for instance, we're doing our tenets. We're going to be doing a series on our tenets. And that will be just like a little series that we're going to do that will be teaching about the tenets. So you can like literally take any theme, any idea. It doesn't just have to be, you know, how to strike or something like that. You can kind of put in your mind to all the things that you know.
Right.
I think all these martial arts school owners, I mean, you guys are all experts, right? You're expert in many, many things. So don't limit it to the things that you've just been teaching on the floor to a room full of people. Think about what else do you have to share? What else are you a mentor in that you would like to share? And that can be a seminar, that can be an interview, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we actually did a parents' night out online.
Yeah, see, there you go.
And the parents just tell the kids to go stay in the bedroom and turn on their computer, and we entertain them for a couple hours. So yeah.
So there's lots of ways to be able to make sure that you know, you have some interaction when you want it, and then no interaction if you don't want it, especially if you want to make something evergreen. And when I say evergreen, what I mean is that it's you can keep playing it, people can, and you can keep selling it too. Thing that is always there, essentially. Okay, cool. We haven't done the parents' night out or parents' night in.
Yeah.
But that sounds like a good one.
Yeah, and Andrea put the whole thing together. And I think Jeff Quirk did one over at his school. I know, you know, Jeff Quirk made a very interesting comment. He said, you know, I've had my school for 20 years as a brick and mortar business, and I had literally 48 hours to turn it into a TV station, you know, or a TV video production studio. And a lot of us haven't had the experience and the understanding of the right way and the wrong way to do that. Like you say, with your background in film production and that sort of thing, you can bring some real good insights. And I think each month everybody's getting a little bit better at it, but there's still so much to be learned in that whole new skill set we have to develop.
Well, at the end of this, I would really like to share some of my resources for those people who would like to, you know, up level the quality of their productions. you know, there are some really great tools out there. So
Right.
I'm happy to
Yep.
share all of that stuff. And if there's
Okay.
any questions that come up, you're welcome to direct message me on Facebook. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Sure.
Another thing about seminars that I wanted to mention is if you don't have a meetup group yet, you need to get a meetup group. Okay, now meetup, interestingly enough, is about actual meetups. So I started a meetup a long time ago. I do a monthly women's free self-defense seminar every month at the dojo. And it's a way of bringing people into the dojo that maybe have never been here before. And and I did all that through Meetup because if you don't know about Meetup, it's probably because it's a lot of women on there, okay, but not women. But it's a great way to network with local people. Okay, now because of what's happened with the quarantine, Meetup has said it's okay to do a lot of virtual events. Okay, and they kind of frowned on it before because they actually wanted people to meet up, but and they saw, you know, the appetite for our meeting up was not there, and it's probably not going to be going that way for a long time. They've really, you know, loosened up their guidelines around digital and virtual meetings. So I would get into a meetup where you could literally be teaching to the public in the same kind of forum, again, using Zoom. That you could literally be introducing what you do and what you know and sharing with other people. So
Well, how do you find these groups, these meetup groups?
okay, so you go to meetup.com and you sign up. It's totally free to sign up. You go there and it'll ask you where you are, and it'll ask you also what your interests are. And then it will start showing you different groups and saying, oh, you know, we suggest this, or if you're interested in that, you know, and you'll start seeing other groups out there. And then if you want to start a group, you just say, create a group. And they do charge for that. I don't remember the price, but I want to say $9 or something like that. But then you put the description of your group and you can put pictures up and all that kind of thing. And you say what you're going to do in there. And a little pro tip for you is you want to name it something that people want to be part of that group. Okay. So that then, and because they'll see the name of your group come up, and then they automatically just join it. So it doesn't mean that they're going to attend your event. They've just joined your group so that they can hear when you're going to have an event coming up. So so I have people every day. I get, you know, women who are signing up for my women's self-defense class. They don't even know when the next one is, but they've signed up for the group.
I see.
Right. So I called it something like Women's Empowerment Group or something like that. So they all want to be part of the Women's Empowerment Group. And then I just run events, and then it broadcasts to all of them. And the nice thing about Meetup is they also send it out. When they broadcast your event to everyone, not just your people that are in your group.
Right.
So I could actually do a whole thing and teach people all about Meetup if that's something of interest for you, Randy, because there is a strategy around it too that's very
Well, I think it'd be a great way to connect with as far as the kids part of our martial arts business, we obviously want to connect with the mothers, and that would be a terrific way to get in contact with the mothers in your trade area.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I would really, I'd highly recommend at least look at it. Just sign up for free and just scout around and see what other kinds of groups there are. You'll be amazed. That's been going on for years already.
Right. Okay.
All right. So number 3, another way to make money online using your expertise is to create courses. Now, we know that, and you've seen other people who are doing courses, and tend to thought of as more of as a business move, like to be teaching marketing or something like that. And you guys have probably even bought some courses in the past for that kind of thing. However, you know something that other people don't know, and you can turn that into a course. It can be like a 4-week course, it could be a 6-week course, it could be however, however many modules you think. But, it might take a little brainstorming to pull your course ideas out of you. But I do work with a lot of entrepreneurs and even some martial arts school business owners as a consultant, and we have come up with some great things. One of my students, I didn't actually ask him if I could use his name, so I'm not going to. But we did this whole and creating a whole course around parenting, and even though it's not directly about martial arts, he knows a lot about parenting from what he's learned from being a teacher for so many years, and so he's doing a whole course for parents. And it's also a great way to bring in new people that don't think that they're interested in martial arts per se, but it's giving them a lot of value. And then of course these parents want to bring in their kids. So it's a great way to bring in some extra income, but also to get your name out there as an expert in what it is you want to be an expert in. It turns what you know into a product. And so when I work with people, privately, the thing that I've always been amazed at is that we as martial arts school owners don't often think of what we do as a product. We think of it as a service. And there's a big difference between selling a service and selling a product. And I'm going to give you some examples of that a little bit later, but actually I'll give you one example. So we have fitness kickboxing classes. Okay, that could be considered a service, right? How do I turn it into a product? Well, I turn it into a 6-week challenge. Okay, now it is a package, it's a product now that I can market and I can sell. Completely different than trying to enroll somebody into a weekly or monthly program. That's just like what gyms do, okay? That's just a service and people can take it or not. It's not something that they're really engaged in. And something that's really made our school super successful is that we want people to show up. Right? So gyms, they want to sign up as many people as possible, but hope that they never show up. And we, on the other hand, are like, we're charging a lot more, but we want and expect people to show up. So, because that's where we create value, is when we can teach them something. So think about how you can create products rather than just provide a service that people can take or leave. And many schools already do that. They have maybe a program that's like their black belt, and they sell a package of getting to black belt. Well, that would be a product, and it should have a name, and it should be something that is very clear about what the benefits are and what the features are and what you're going to be getting by, enrolling in this package or buying this package. So think about more what you're doing as creating a bunch of products. It's having one product. We teach martial arts. That's your one service. No, create several products within your business. Okay. So next is having a membership site. So just like with courses, there's going to be, you're going to need some help with creating the platform and what technology to use and all that kind of stuff. I know some of that's can be challenging, and it is the same with membership site, but there are a lot of ways to create a membership site that's not as challenging as you think. And what is a membership site and how do you make money with a membership site? Well, a membership site really on its most simple level is just a place where you house everything that you do. So whatever videos you're creating, whatever documents you have, whatever, all of your things that you have on your computer somewhere or that you do on a day-to-day basis can all go into your membership site. So you're creating really a hub of all of your material. And then you give the people who buy access to this, you give them access to all of your stuff. Now, this is, to begin with, a lot of people go, I don't have anything to put in a membership site. Well, you would be surprised. at what you have or what you could end up creating to go in there. And again, this is a whole seminar I could do just about membership sites. But let's talk about pricing for a minute. Okay, so a lot of people think about membership sites as a great idea for ongoing revenue. Okay, so you want a bunch of people paying, you want 1,000 people paying you $30 a month for your membership site. That's $30,000 a month. Boom, right? Well, no, that's not how it usually works.
Right.
Okay, because someone will join up for $30. They'll see all the stuff you have. Then the next time it comes out of their checking account or their credit card, they're going to go, "Oh, I didn't really use it this last month, and I don't want to pay another $30," and they're gone. Okay, so this recurring revenue model, unless you are a content king or queen and you are just cranking out tons of content, new content all the time, where people are engaged with it and they're going, "Oh, can't wait for the next thing to come, the next thing to come." They're completely engaged, and then you can charge whatever you want for that. I mean, I actually know of different entrepreneurs that are charging $500 a month to be a part of their membership site. Okay, and nobody's complaining, but that's because of the value that they're creating.
Sure.
So here's the strategy for your membership site. You do a one-time fee, lifetime access, okay, to your membership site. And you charge something like $97, right? This has kind of been the magic number that we found that really, really works, is $97 lifetime access to your membership site. It also really takes the pressure off of you to be constantly putting in new material all the time, okay? Because people are really enthusiastic when they first sign up, and they're going to be gobbling up your content, and then it starts to wane, unfortunately. But now also you've got a captive audience that you can continue to market. So when you have a new book coming out or you have something that's happening, you can go to that group of people and you know that they actually care about your content because they paid for it.
Sure.
That's what we call a qualified lead, a qualified customer. They actually bought something from you. It shows their interest level, much more qualified than social media followers. And can I just do a little rant about social media followers?
Of course, it's your show.
Well, it's people think that social media is all that, and it's just not. Okay, I mean, it is great for certain things, but you don't own those people. Your followers are not your tribe. In fact, your followers aren't even seeing your stuff. The algorithms that Facebook is using right now are gauging what they're doing is they're measuring engagement. So the same 20 people that engage with you, they're the ones who are getting things in their feed about you. People who don't engage with you, they're not even seeing you. So I have 5,000 friends on my personal profile, which I don't even use. The reason why I don't use it is because people are not seeing that there anyway. That I moved everything over to a page, and where I can do more engagement, I can do my ads and all that kind of thing. And but I'm not counting on all those followers. Followers are not following, but followers that they are people that I can market to. They're just not. When you pay Facebook, you can market. But they're hitting people that aren't your followers too, right? They're hitting a bunch of people, so that's why you pay for that. So this whole thing about followers, totally overrated. You need an actual lead is a name and email. That's it. Everyone else is looky-loos, actually just trying to get ideas and move on to the next. We've all got the attention span of a goldfish, so that's how long they're staying with you, is about 8 seconds. That's it. Okay, that's my rant on social media. It's not about getting more followers, it's about getting more qualified leads.
Right.
So membership site, this is also where you can be putting all the videos that you're making, all your video classes. You can just do everything there, and I highly recommend it. And you can charge separately for that.
Mm-hmm.
Schools do membership sites, and it's just part of enrolling in the school. I think that's. I think that there's online people and then there's offline people, and just because they came in into your dojo, it might not mean they're an online person. They won't see the value of it, and you're just, you know, there's no reason for you to do that. You can actually charge for that. Okay, number 5, live stream classes. I know this freaks out a lot of people, but live stream classes are a really great way to, well, you can do them for free if you want, just to get interest, but you can also charge for them. And I think that live stream classes, I don't like doing anything for just one reason. I like to have several reasons why I do anything. So we are live streaming right now to members who pay for it, and then we record them, and we put all that in a membership site. And so that if they can't do it when it was when we were live streaming it, then they can watch the recording. And I'm always amazed at how many people on our live streams. I mean, they actually really like to participate with you live. So, and I'm not, you can do it on Zoom, but there's other ways to do it as well, where you can up your quality, and we'll get into that. But people really love the live stream. So we are live streaming in HD, so people can actually watch it on their TV screens and really be involved and see it much bigger than like from their phone or iPad. So live stream is a great, now as you notice, we've been getting more and more complicated and more, you have to know a little more technical things and all of that. But that's okay. You guys can handle it. These are just ideas that I'm going to try and open your mind to. All right. And then the last one that I wanted to suggest before I show you some examples of things is, and this is probably the easiest one, is just become a JV partner with somebody who's already doing something online. Okay, so if somebody's doing some online seminars, for instance, work out an affiliate deal with them. Now, if they're already pretty tech savvy, they might have an affiliate program already worked out. I work with a software that has a built-in affiliate program, so it's no big deal. But let's say someone doesn't have that kind of platform, or they don't know how to do that. You can still call them and say, hey, I want to direct some people to you. Can we work out a deal? So that's really what an affiliate, or it's called a JV, or a joint venture partner. This is the future, okay? We got to stop thinking about our schools as being isolated, units. That because of the internet, students are looking at other people's stuff anyway, right? So if you don't teach jujitsu, for instance, what would it hurt for you to have an online jujitsu program available to your students that you make money on?
Right.
I know.
I always say, if Chuck Norris would start teaching Mondays and Wednesdays, how many people would sign up for his class online? I mean, he'd be the first million-person school, and you're absolutely right. And I think through this coronavirus, we have taught people to learn online now. It's something we had talked about quite a bit. The biggest value I'm seeing right now is the kid that doesn't make it to class. Now he has an opportunity to do makeup classes or to train at home, and that's going to help quite a bit with retention, I believe. And anytime we can keep a student, that's a very important piece of the picture. Whereas before, if they got a week or two behind, they're nervous about coming back to class live. This is a great way for them to do that. We can, what we're in the process of doing with our membership site is breaking out, here's the proper way I want you to do your round kick. If we have a child or somebody who's having trouble with their round kick in class, we can just shoot them the link. When you get home, I want you to watch this little extra training on your round kick and dial thing up or form or whatever it is. So it's an assistant to what we do in the classroom. And I think it's a very important assistant that we have. And if you're not doing it, then the other schools in town are, it's not going to be a good thing for you.
Yeah, it's time to get into the 21st century. Right? And look at how are people consuming content right now? How are they consuming content? And we are content creators essentially. So we've got to appeal to them in the way that they're used to it. One of the things I'm doing with another one of my private clients is working out a schedule where we do one class, 2 students online, doing essentially what you're talking about, Randy, where you're teaching your lessons, and you're not doing any interaction. You're not watching them. You're not doing it. You don't have to do it on Zoom. You can literally record it, and you teach the lesson. You teach everything you want them to be learning. And then, so if you're doing 2 times a week, the first lesson of the week is done. Let's say it's Tuesday, Thursdays that they usually train. So Tuesday is a big teaching day for you. And then Thursday, you're reviewing that material, but with them on Zoom. And now you can just stand there and look at them and give points and all of that kind of stuff. And that seems to be working really well too. Keeping, and that's for people who cannot get the students to come back into the dojo. And then alternating that as well. So you can literally have kids coming in on 1 day a week instead of 2 days a week. And I know some of the parents are appreciating, less exposure instead of.
I was watching, or I read something where they had a Peloton, the cycling in-home cycling thing. They had a Saturday morning class, and they had 12,000 people in class. Wow. So we've had some big martial arts classes, but we've never had 12,000 people in a martial arts class. But it just goes to show you what we're capable of doing and expanding out into it. And we just have to open our eyes up to the possibilities and then try to develop the skill set. And you're way ahead of us on the skill set of this stuff.
Well, if I could also talk about how we as business owners, we don't know everything. And I know that's hard for some of you to swallow because you do know everything, right? No, but
absolutely.
Here's the thing. We know what people need. Okay. We know what they need to have, but that's not necessarily what they're looking for or what they want. So my number 1 tip for finding out what's going to work and how you can actually make money is to do the research. What does that mean? That means asking people what they actually want. So if you think, oh, well, I'm going to create this whole online thing, and then you find out from your people they don't want anything online, or you go, oh, we're going to bring everybody back in the dojo, yay! But they're like, we don't want to go back in the dojo. Every community is different. Here in California and Santa Barbara specifically, I mean, we have a lot of people who are very, very careful and very particular about how they're going to re-engage. And reopening has been a very gradual thing. It's not just opening the doors for us here. And why? Not because of us, but because of them. That they have actually dictated to us, because we're so much into the research. They've dictated to us how they want to see this happen and what would make them feel most comfortable. So that goes for any kind of big decision you want to be making in your business, especially when it comes to making money. Find out what people actually want to buy and if they would be willing to buy it. So if you have an idea, you take it to them and you go, so is that something that you would pay for? You go, absolutely not. It's like, okay. Well, yes, I think that's a great idea. And then you go, great, it costs this much. How does that price sound to you? And they go, too high, too little, whatever. Or how much would you pay for that is actually the real question. How much would you pay for that? They tell you, and then you go, great,
Mhm.
let's sign you up. Okay, this is how you actually make decisions, not based on what you think or what you know they need, but about what they're actually willing to pay for and what they actually want.
Yeah, I know we did a Saturday afternoon. Andrea did it. I believe it was a bow staff extra training with the bow staff at home, and I think it was $25, whatever it was. But we got 30 kids on it, I think, for a couple hours, and it works.
Yeah.
And there's several things like that, and once again, it comes down to trying to open your mind and understand how to use this new tool in this new day that we're in. But we're in it regardless of what we want to do. Doesn't matter. It's what the public wants, and if we're going to stay in business, that's what we have to give them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
yeah, when our students said that they wanted a class on Sundays, I was really upset about it.
Yeah.
But then it being one of our biggest classes is so crazy.
Yeah.
I never taught it because there's no way I was coming in the dojo on Sunday. Okay. So being a JV, back to this whole idea about joint venture, there are a lot of programs that are available that you could become an affiliate for, that you could provide. And a lot of times all it is sending out an email.
Mm-hmm.
So let me talk about the value of having a list. And I don't mean just a list of your students, but a lead list that you can actually, that you've got permission to market to, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Different than just the emails you've collected over the years, all right? You need a CRM that complies with all of the regulations for sending out mass emails. And you've got this list now. This list is gold, especially if you've kept them warm and they know, like, and trust you. And then you send to your list opportunities that come to you as joint ventures. So, for instance, I teach a lot about nutrition and that and so forth. And I found a winery, way off topic, but a winery that has very, very good wine that's organic and it doesn't have all the phosphates and all that kind of stuff in. And so for people who drink, this is like a huge, huge deal. And I talked to them. I said, do you have an affiliate program? They're like, yeah, we do. It's like, awesome. Now I get to share something that I think is very important and will help people that drink wine. And I get to share it with them as a point of interest. But if they buy and they go to that site and they buy, I also make money on. It's awesome. It's a win-win situation. So as long as you stick with things that you know will benefit your people and what they're looking for and what they want, you're not doing a heavy sales pitch on them. You're not doing it if you don't believe it or use it yourself. See, that's a product that I use myself. So sure. I'm like, right, I want to share that. So thinking about what your students need and want is a great way to find joint ventures that you can, and affiliates that you can actually make money from. And it's not about a little amount of money, okay? It's a lot of money. I'll give you an example. So I know a guy who literally has a pretty good email list, mind you, okay? But he nurtures this list and he's very particular about anything that he sends out on it, okay? And that's why I subscribe to his list, because I know, like, and trust him that, I'm not going to get, spammed or offers all the time, because that drives me crazy, right? So I get, at the end of the year, I get an email about the middle of December, and he said, hey, just want to wish everybody Merry Christmas and let you know I'm going to be taking the next couple of weeks off. And what I'm going to do during this time is I'm really going to go inside and look at what I want to create for my business next year. And I use this tool to organize my year. And I talked to the guy, and the guy's willing to give you $100 off if you would like to look at it and use it too. I found it very valuable. I've used it for the last 5 years, and it's how I plan out my entire year. Anyway, Merry Christmas. Bye-bye. Okay. One email. How much money did he make? Okay, you don't want to know, right? He made almost $250,000. It was like 220 something. Okay.
Right.
From sending an email. Now that's a big list and a well-groomed list. Okay. A very qualified list, but still, is that worth sending an email for? Now, did he create the product? No. Did he use the product and believe in the product? Yes. And he gets 50%. And it ranges usually from 20% to 50% that you can make on affiliates. Actually, that's not true. Some are as little as 10, but I don't use those ones. Anyway, from 20 to 50 is industry standard for making, getting back from an affiliate for something that you're not producing, that you're literally just making available to other people.
Sure.
Okay, so it's real money, not like little money, good money.
Right. Yeah.
So I would love to show you, well, actually, why don't we take a couple of questions right now, if that's okay? And then I got some examples of stuff I can show you.
My first question is, are you still using Cinemaker for your videoing of your classes?
Yeah, I am. So why don't I actually show you a little bit of what my setup here. Everything's plugged in. Okay. So what we do is we actually use iPhones to video all of our stuff. And because it all works into this platform, Cinemaker, and I'm happy to give you a link for that. And it's been amazing. There is some equipment to get. There is, and it's much more than just the platform. You have to be thinking about lighting and sound and all that kind of stuff. But what this platform is you get to have multi-camera. So you can have 4 cameras, up to 4 cameras, all shooting at one time, and they all come into an iPad, and where you can see all of them, and you can really edit live. So you don't have to afterwards try and put it all together and go on Final Cut Pro and all that kind of stuff. Now, you literally, so for this morning, we shot a class. We live streamed a class, and we did it with 4 cameras, and we literally, and I have a person that just mans that iPad, and they just hit the different camera that they want the shot on, because they can see all 4 of them at one time. And then at the end, upload it, and it's done. So it's a really nice system. You might get some support to set it up and some little lessons and things like that. But it's actually a really nice platform. So yes,
we used that at Cause Talks last year, and we didn't utilize it as well as we could have, but it was still really slick. And I had looked into a similar thing called, I think it was called Sling Studio, but you had to buy all the stuff, and it would end up been $2,000 or $3,000 worth of equipment I would have had to purchase. The Cinemaker, I think, is what, $20 a month.
Yeah, you can buy the month, or you can buy by the year, all that.
Yeah. But it was really relatively inexpensive, and then a couple $100 for some old iPhones and an iPad, and there's not much to it to get started, and really ups the consumer's experience on, instead of just staring at one camera the whole time. You can dress it up pretty cool.
And it's done in high definition. and you can stream it live from that same feed. Okay, so although we have Zoom going, what we're recording is the actual one through Cinemaker, and that's the part that's being live streamed as well. So it's being live streamed in high definition. It's awesome. I'm going to put in a link for the Cinemaker here, and
Okay.
check it out if you're interested.
Cool.
So yeah, so we have we are using that. Do you have any other questions, or we can open it up to everybody else?
No, that was the one. That's the one I had to get started with.
So actually, you know what we'll do, instead of unmuting everybody so you don't have to worry about background noise, if you do have a question, just put it in the chat, and we'll make sure to answer that before we go. Okay. And then of course, if you get, you know, a question comes to you after this time together is over, you're welcome to direct message me, and I'd be happy to help you in any way I can.
And what is the best way to, what is your profile if they want to direct message you? What's the best way to do that?
I'll put that in the chat too. It's just under my name, Melody Meyer. I do spell my name weird though, Melody with 2 E's, Melody, and then M-E-Y-E-R. And so I have a Facebook page, and so you can direct message me there.
Okay. And I really encourage people, if they're get out to California and they can come by the school and see what you and Dave have built there. It's a very, very special place. And my battle cry forever has been, the real asset we have is our culture. I mean, everybody can buy mirrors and everybody can put a floor down, but building that culture, not unlike a culture in a church, is our asset, and it's a movable asset. And we need to, we have some new opportunities on things that are going to help us build that culture. One being the online educational part, the other part being a membership site where your tribe goes, and that helps support, build that culture. So any tools that are coming or happening now that lend and help promote that culture are extremely important, and more important every day. It's interesting because I talk to so many school owners each week, and I was tracking, first off, I was tracking how many people were taking martial arts classes when the schools were 100% shut down. And I was tracking what percentage are paying. And it was all over the board. I mean, we had Jeff Quirk here in Wisconsin. At one point, he had 420 people take class one night online, which is huge. I think he has 500 students. So 80% attended class, 90% were paying. Now, I've talked to some other people around the country that are completely devastated. 30% of their people are there and 90% have quit paying. And they just didn't have the infrastructure and culture that made the students want to support the school and keep training through a little tough time. And it showed how important culture is in a real dramatic way. Yes. So now we have another tool and another system to help build that. And we need to be good at it. It's a skill set we're going to have to develop if we're going to go and grow and thrive after this little.
All your eggs in one basket, right? Like you gotta create different ways that people can consume what it is that you're selling. So I want to share. I'm going to share my screen here and show you what we did with our membership site, just so you can get an idea of what we're doing here. So we created a site because we do have 2 very distinct programs. What we did is we created one portal where we sent everybody to, and then they could choose which one they were, because some people are both and some people are just one or the other. So we have people who come here just for our fitness program, and then other people who come here for just martial arts. So they literally actually logged in for the first time here. Now, they don't have to come into this portal ever again. This was just the original portal that we sent people to. And then when they log in, so I'm going here to the fitness. So this is what the membership site looks like for the fitness end of things. Looks very similar for the martial arts as well. But you can join a live class, you can shop, you can chat. We put all our news and things like that in here. Here's some of the recent classes down here. Up across, we've got the schedule. We've got all of our archived classes here. So you can kickbox with Grandmaster if you want. Our Power Fit classes, which are resistance training classes, are all archived here. And then again, another link to go to a live class. So that's kind of the setup that we did for our students. And now, because this has been so incredibly successful, we had a lot of people who weren't our students saying, we want to join your fitness kickboxing classes. And it's like, oh my gosh, how are we going to do this? So what we did is we created a different way for them to join up. And they're not monthly members, meaning they're not paying a monthly fee. And like I said earlier, we didn't want to just go into a monthly program and then like in 2 weeks have them quit. We wanted to have them really focused and want to get some amazing results, which through our CUT program has been, we've been doing that for 18 years now. And it's got incredible results. So we knew that if we could get people doing that online, that we'd be able to move them into the dojo. So what we did is we created another site, and I'll show you that one. Let's see. All right, and what we did here is we created a splash page for our CUT program, and we're doing it as a 6-week challenge. And so we can send people now to this. And now this is something we can actually market to, on Facebook or wherever else we want to advertise and drive traffic to the site. So, or to a webinar, which is even better, that will tell people how they can, what it's all about, and then send them to actually sign up. So just to give you an idea, I'll go through this really quickly, all the perks and where we've been and all that kind of thing. Then they get down to how much it costs and what's included. What we did is like I said, did a 6-week challenge, and we tell them all the things that they're getting. They're getting live classes and recorded classes. They get access to the library. They get the Power Fit classes, which is the resistance training. They get a success guide and a nutrition guide, and they get access to our coaches and to a private Facebook community. So all of that they get, and the price for that is $4.97 for the 6-week challenge. Now, what I'm doing, however, is I want other people to promote this, right? I want people to not keep it a secret. So I created an affiliate program, and the software that I'm using here, all this is all built in. It's a CRM as well as like a funnel page builder. It's a affiliate program. I mean, it holds my membership site, everything all in one. So I don't have to buy a bunch of different platforms for it. It's all in here. And these things, you got to know that I actually made this page, and I'm not a tech person per se, but because of the templates that they had, just putting in my content. And so what I'm doing is I'm actually putting this out to whoever wants to promote it and giving them a way to give their people a discount as well as making money on it. So for $4.97, they can put it out to, like, if you wanted to, if you don't have a fitness program, then this is a great thing that you could do if you wanted to, is to go, hey, you can have access to this program that's $4.97 and I can get you $300 off of it. Okay, so it's 197. So the student pays 197, and then you make 40% of that.
Mm-hmm.
So you get 40% of it, and they get $300 off. It's a win-win-win. Everybody's happy, and they get access to the whole program. Okay, so it's one way that you can take what you're doing and package it. Very similar to this. Like I say, it's not brain surgery. It does take time and thought how you would out, so you could do it with your own content, or you can, subscribe to somebody else's content in the same way and just do it as an affiliate.
Yeah, that's slick.
Yeah,
real nice.
All of that. So then also, what's really great is that then those people can actually sign up someone or refer it, like send somebody to the site, right? And then they get a little affiliate. They get money on that too. And then the person that referred them, they go about 2 levels deep if you have the affiliate program like that. So
this could be a neat way to augment a fitness program in your school. That could be pretty slick.
Well, it's actually really good for, like, I've got a couple of clients who don't have fitness kickboxing in their school. They don't want to, because it really is like having another business, instructors, right. And then the schedule, you got to, how do you find floor time and all of that. So it's a nice, adjunct to that, and going, hey, if you want a fitness program online, here's one for you. Yeah. And then they always have access to it. All of our instructors are martial artists, but the way that we teach it is pretty basic, and we're not right. Like, it's not. It is fitness kickboxing. It's not, professional boxing, as it were, or even professional boxing. It's fitness kickboxing, which is just great for fitness and results.
Well, yeah, but the thing that would interest me is to be able to sell 100 of these in my town, so that I got the email address of 100 mothers in town, and then I'm in the kids business, so whatever moves me into the sphere of working with parents is any tool that I can do that with. I'm really interested in. You did a beautiful job on a page.
Yeah, Randy, you know how we're using it here? We're actually going to market this site out to the public, and then math, my dojo here, we're going to go to them and say, you can do the classes with us here if you want.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So they get a choice, and so it brings them in as well. So they don't have to do all the classes online. It's like this extra little perk, so that people, can go, oh, I paid, $197, and I could go into the dojo if I want, or I can do it at home. It's going to be so much better, because we're having a lot of people couldn't come to all the classes anyway, and now they can do it, wherever they are. If they go out of town, they can make a 6-week challenge. Yeah,
just a higher level of service, and that's the way we're moving into this thing now.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, we're a little bit over an hour. What else we got here?
That's it. Are there any questions in the chat? Because
I don't even know where to find the chat on this thing.
Oh, do you need a little Zoom lesson, my friend?
Oh, there's it is down here. Now, wait, I saw it. Now it's gone. Oh, here I didn't pull my cursor down there. I see. No, I think we're good.
Good. Okay. Cool.
All right. So why don't we wrap this up? And once again, people, if you get a chance to get to Santa Barbara, go see Dave Wheaton and Melody Meyer. They've got an incredible program running down there. And Master Mel, I really appreciate time with you, as I always appreciate time with you. It's always a good investment of my time. I learn something every time we talk.
Good. Well, thanks for having me. And anytime. You know that.
All right. Cool. All right, everybody. Thanks for stopping in. We'll get a replay of this put together, and we'll rock and roll from there. Cool. All righty. Take care. Bye-bye.